Welcome to RIP News. Today, June 2nd, 2025, we mourn the loss of 5 American legends who passed away in the last 24 hours. In this episode, we pay heartfelt tribute to their extraordinary lives and legacies. Please like, support, and subscribe to our channel as we honor these icons. Stay tuned for a moving tribute. James Lowe. What makes a voice so electric it sparks a musical revolution? James Lowe, the soul behind the Electric Prunes, did just that in the 1960s, blending psychedelic vibes with raw energy. His story isn't just about hits, it's about walking away, reinventing himself, and coming back stronger. Let's dive into the wild ride of his life. In 1965, Los Angeles was buzzing, and the Electric Prunes, led by Lowe's snarling vocals, burst onto the scene. Their hit, I Had Too Much to Dream, Last Night, climbed to number 11 on the charts, with its trippy guitar riffs and haunting melody. Get Me to the World on Time followed, cementing their place in psych rock history. But there was more to their sound than just catchy tunes. Lowe's smoky, soulful voice gave the Electric Prunes a gritty edge. Their 1967 album Underground pushed boundaries with experimental sounds, and their bold collaboration with David Axelrod on Mass in F minor was a risk few bands dared take. It was ambitious, but it showed Lowe's hunger to break the mold. And that wasn't the only wild idea floating around. Ever heard you could get high from smoking banana peels? In 1967, that bizarre rumor swept through the counterculture. Lowe leaned into it, co-writing The Great Banana Hoax for their album. It was a cheeky nod to the era's obsession with mind-bending experiences, and fans ate it up. But the good times wouldn't last. By 1968, the Electric Prunes fell apart. Lowe walked away, trading stages for studios. He became a sought-after engineer and producer, shaping albums for Todd Rundgren's Nas and Sparks' early work, like a woofer in tweeter's clothing. His knack for sound was undeniable, but something shifted. In the early 70s, Lowe left music entirely, diving into industrial filmmaking. Why walk away from a thriving career? That's what had fans scratching their heads. Fast forward to 1999, and Lowe pulled off the comeback nobody saw coming. He reformed the Electric Prunes, releasing Artifact in 2001 and hitting the stage again. The only original member, he carried the band's legacy forward, performing as recently as 2023 at a Nuggets tribute show in Glendale. His passion never faded, and neither did his fans' love. Lowe's final years were electric to the end. He passed on May 22, 2025, at 82, surrounded by family and music, leaving behind a sound that still echoes. Fans on social media called him a true innovator, and his influence lingers in today's psych rock revival. But here's the real question: will his trippy legacy inspire the next wave of dreamers? That's something worth thinking about. Devin Harjes. What if a rising star, known for gritty roles and a larger-than-life spirit, left Hollywood too soon? Devin Harjes, a Texas-born talent, captivated audiences before his shocking exit at 41. Let's dive into his story. Born in Lubbock, Texas, Devin was a cowboy at heart. At just 5, he won a saddle in an equestrian competition, a sign of the bold spirit that defined him. Growing up among horses, he found a knack for connecting with animals, a trait that later charmed everyone he met. But there was more to Devin than the plains of Texas. After studying acting in college, Devin headed to New York, cutting his teeth on off-Broadway stages and indie films. A martial arts enthusiast, he brought intensity to every role. His big break came in 2010, playing boxing legend Jack Dempsey in Boardwalk Empire. Fans called his portrayal bang on, cementing his place in gritty TV drama. Then came The Forest is Red in 2012, where Devin's role as a troubled outcast earned him Best Actor, at Italy's Tolentino International Film Festival. His raw talent shone in indie circles, but bigger stages beckoned. And what happened next would thrill comic book fans. Devin dove into the dark worlds of Daredevil and Gotham, playing a shady nurse and a bank guard with an edge only a martial artist could bring. His 9-episode arc as Pete Baylor in Manifest showed he could hold his own in sci-fi, too. But his story wasn't just about roles. Known for joking that the gym was safer than a horse's kick, Devin's humor and love for his cat Maud endeared him to friends. Tragically, cancer claimed him in May 2025, just months after diagnosis. Hollywood lost a gem, but his legacy lives on. What role of Devin stands out to you? Sherry Robb. Who's the mastermind behind some of Hollywood's biggest stories? Meet Sherry Robb, a force who shaped entertainment for over 40 years. But what made her so special? Let's dive in. Sherry started as a therapist in Boston, helping teens and veterans rebuild their lives. Her passion for stories pulled her to New York, where she became a publishing dynamo, landing a top sales role. And that was just the beginning. By the 1980s, Sherry was a literary agent with a golden touch. She secured 11 New York Times bestsellers, including Dreamgirls, which hit the big screen, and Zodiac, a chilling true crime tale that inspired David Fincher's film. Her knack for spotting unique voices was unmatched. But there's more to her story. In 2003, Sherry founded the Robb Company, guiding actors to star in American Horror Story and Get Out. She launched Ronald D. Moore, the genius behind Battlestar Galactica, selling his first Star Trek scripts. Her roster was small but mighty, and she never stopped betting on talent. Sherry also produced films like Choke and Body of Night on Amazon Prime, and in 2020, she co-founded Robb Squad Film Company, chasing bold horror projects. But what's truly shocking? Despite battling congestive heart disease for 20 years, dying twice, Sherry kept pushing forward. Fans on X still buzz about her mentorship, calling her a quiet Hollywood titan. Her 2019 Personal Managers Hall of Fame induction sealed her legacy. Sherry Robb passed in 2025, but her impact lingers. Who else in Hollywood flies under the radar like she did? Share your thoughts below, and let's uncover more unsung legends together. Ronald Fenty. What happens when a global superstar faces a deeply personal loss? Rihanna, the queen of pop, just lost her father, Ronald Fenty, at 70, and the story behind their bond is anything but simple. Let's dive in. Ronald Fenty passed away in Los Angeles on May 31, 2025, after a brief illness. Sources say Rihanna and her brother Rajad were by his side at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, standing together in his final moments. But what shaped their complicated relationship? Born in Barbados, Ronald raised Rihanna, Rajad, and Rory with his ex-wife Monica Braithwaite. Their family life unraveled when his struggles with alcohol and drugs tore them apart, leading to a divorce when Rihanna was just 14. Those challenges lingered, casting a shadow over her rise to fame. Tensions flared in 2009 when Ronald spoke to the press about Rihanna's assault by Chris Brown without her consent. Fans were stunned, and Rihanna called it bizarre, exposing their emotional distance. But that wasn't the whole story. In 2019, Rihanna sued Ronald, claiming he misused her name for his Fenty Entertainment Company, sparking a public feud. Yet, by 2021, she dropped the lawsuit, hinting at reconciliation. Rihanna even paid for his $58,000 rehab stint in Malibu, showing her commitment despite the pain. Ronald later beamed with pride over Rihanna's role as a mother to RZA and Riot, calling her a loving mom. And what happened next would shock everyone. Rumors swirled that his past addiction may have played a role in his sudden illness, though nothing's confirmed. Rihanna stayed silent, but her strength shines through. Ronald's life was messy, flawed, but human. What do you think his loss means for Rihanna's journey? Share below, and let's keep the conversation going. Lachie Stewart. Could one race make a nobody a legend? In 1970, Lachie Stewart, a dental mechanic from Alexandria, Scotland, answered that question. Born in 1943, he was told as a teenager to quit running due to high blood pressure. But Lachie didn't listen. He pounded the hills of Dunbartonshire, building a grit that would shock the world. By the late 1960s, Lachie was a force, racking up 13 Scottish track titles and 19 records from 2 to 12 miles. He was no stranger to success, but nobody saw 1970 coming. At the Edinburgh Commonwealth Games, he faced Ron Clarke, the world record holder in the 10.000 m. With Scotland's crowd roaring, Lachie surged past Clarke on the final lap, snatching gold in 28 minutes and 11.8 seconds. Fans still debate, did he even expect to win? 2 years later, Lachie ran in the 1972 Munich Olympics, but the game's tragic events overshadowed his effort. Yet his spirit never broke. In 2018, he survived a cardiac arrest while swimming, thanks to a friend's quick thinking. In 2020, diabetes complications led to a leg amputation, yet Lachie stayed upbeat, even trying a prosthetic. He mentored his son Glenn, a GB runner, and inspired countless athletes, earning a 2018 Scottish Athletics Hall of Fame spot. On May 31, 2025, Lachie passed away, at 81, after a short illness, leaving a nation mourning. Tributes poured in, calling him a humble hero. Lachie Stewart's life wasn't just about one race. It was about defying odds, on the track and off. What's your impossible challenge? His story dares you to face it. Mike McCallum. Why isn't Mike McCallum a household name like other boxing legends? This Jamaican warrior, known as the Body Snatcher, conquered 3 weight classes, and was never knocked out in 55 fights. His story is packed with triumphs, controversies, and a legacy that's only now getting its due after his passing in 2025. Born in 1956, McCallum started as a 1976 Olympian, representing Jamaica with a slick, punishing style. By the early 80s, he turned pro, earning his chilling nickname by targeting opponents' bodies with brutal precision. Fans said it was like watching a predator dismantle his prey. His punches didn't just hurt, they reshaped careers. From 1984 to 1988, McCallum dominated as WBA super welterweight champion, outclassing foes with a granite chin and technical mastery. He defended his title 6 times, proving he was nearly untouchable. But bigger challenges were coming, and not all would end in his favor. In 1988, McCallum moved to middleweight, facing Sumbu Kalambe for the WBA title. He lost a clear decision, his first defeat. Undeterred, he claimed the vacant title in 1989 against Harold Graham, defending it 3 times. Then came James Toney in 1991. Their first fight ended in a draw, but the rematch. Fans still argue McCallum was robbed of the win, with whispers of boxing politics clouding his reign. And there was more to come. At 37, McCallum jumped to light heavyweight, snatching the WBC title from Jeff Harding in 1994. It was a bold move, but age caught up. He lost the belt to Fabrice Tiozzo, and at 40, faced a young Roy Jones Jr., falling short in a wide decision. That wasn't the end, though. McCallum retired in 1997, after a final loss to Toney, finishing with a 1st of May 49 record. He became a trainer in Las Vegas, and earned a 2003 Hall of Fame nod. After his death in 2025, fans on X have reignited debates about his overlooked greatness. Was he boxing's ultimate underdog? Share your thoughts below, this story deserves to be heard. Marcie Jones. Ever wonder who paved the way for women in Australian pop? Marcie Jones, a voice that shook the 60s, left us too soon on May 31, 2025, at 79. Her story's one you won't forget. Born in Melbourne, Marcie was just 15 when she belted out tunes with the Thunderbirds, stealing hearts at local ballrooms. By 1964, she was a star on the Go show, her raw power making her a household name. But there was more to come. In 1967, Marcie teamed up with the Cook sisters to form Marcie and the Cookies, a rare all-girl group in a male-heavy scene. Their harmonies and slick moves won over crowds, landing them tours with legends like the Monks and Cliff Richard. They even bagged Go-Set's Best Female Act in 1968. And what happened next? Marcie went solo, hitting the charts with Gonna Get Married in 1974, produced by the likes of Del Shannon. Her global tours weren't all glitz. England brought heartbreak, including a broken engagement with Normie Rowe. Her 2008 book runs in The Blood Spilled It All, Love, Loss, and even giving birth with Jerry Marston by her side. But Marcie never quit. She reinvented herself with country music in 1999, earning award nods, and charmed listeners as a radio host. Days before her passing, Marcie shared on social media she was battling leukemia, vowing to fight. Her sudden death shocked fans, who flooded X with tributes to an Aussie icon. Marcie Jones wasn't just a singer, she was a trailblazer, who proved grit and talent could break barriers. What's her legacy to you? Share below and subscribe to keep her story alive.